Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm So504 Boxing Breakdown, here to break down another big entertaining fight here in the community between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. The way I see this fight going, this is going to be a very strategic fight at the beginning. A lot of people are saying that this fight may be strategic throughout. I think eventually a fight is going to break out between these two competitors. We have Shakur Stevenson, a pure boxer, a fundamentalist, someone who garners defense and then offense. Then you have Teofimo Lopez, who's also a boxer in his own right. He's not just a boxer with punching power. He can actually box. He uses angles, has good footwork, great hand speed. Shakur also has great hand speed. Both competitors have an extremely high IQ as far as ring generalship. They both seem to know where they are at all times in the ring. They both have great awareness. This is something that a lot of people don't talk about, meaning they understand what's going on inside the ring and outside the ring. That comes with being comfortable. For all the people, have you ever competed in anything? Sometimes everything outside of the actual competition can be muted. It only takes a certain type of caliber of boxer to reach a certain level to where you understand what's going on in front of you and outside of you. That's why you can hear the trainers, you can hear people in a crowd. Like Teofimo said, he heard Bud Crawford giving another boxer advice to beat him. He thought it was Shakur. Shakur said, I was actually rooting for Teofimo. Like Shakur's also said he would hear Crawford giving him advice in the fights outside of hearing his coaches. So when you have such high caliber fighters with great ring generalship and they are so comfortable that they can hear everything around them, it's going to be hard to control that type of fighter because their IQ. So how do I see this fight going? Let's start off with Teofimo. Teofimo has hand speed. He also has pop from both sides. He has a fast twitch with his feet movement, meaning he can get in and out of angles. He can get in and out of range. He can cover distance extremely fast. I think sometimes Teofimo, if he stays in front of you for too long without moving, he can get himself in trouble, especially when he brings out this bravado thing like against Kambosos. If you look at Teofimo, he's hitting you, pop, pop, pop. He hit you with a combination, switch your angle, or he'll hop, hit you, pop out, take a half step back, hit you again. Like, he's good in that mid-range to inside, but not standing directly in front of you, just brawling on you. That's not his game. Whereas Shakur Stevenson, he's more mid-range to outside, measure you off with the jab, keep the stick in your face, making sure that you're going to stay at bay and he's going to stay comfortable. And even when you do cross that barrier and get inside of the range that he doesn't want you to be in, his defense is going to take over, where he's going to roll and slip shots. He can circle out to his left side because he's a southpaw. So he's very good with, and when I say circle out, typically fighters, when they're being pressed, I don't know if people, if y'all seen, so when fighters are being pressed, if I'm a southpaw fighter, I'm facing towards my left hand side, so it's going to be easier for me to creep out that way than to go the opposite way towards my backside. So Shakur can go both ways because sometimes he'll stand square and he'll circle out to the right like most fighters do. That's savvy enough to go both ways. Teofimo can do it also. But the point that I'm making is it's going to be hard to just press him, and Teofimo's style is not to just press you anyway. And this is why I say it's going to be a chess match at the beginning of the fight. You're going to have two fighters that's in there that's psychologically responsible enough to know that, one, they don't want to get hurt early, and two, they don't want to give away so many tails. So when you see boxers are filling each other out, a lot of times you hear commentators like, oh, Floyd Mayweather, Bud Crawford, they're downloading, Lomachenko, they're downloading information. They're not only downloading information, they're also not giving tails. I'm not going to let my whole arsenal go away and, for lack of better terms, blow my whole load, and especially if I can't get you out there. Now, you could time me because I'm giving you so much so early. If I can't get you out there, now you seeing everything, you giving me all the information. Now you download me. So it's not just them downloading, engaging range. Sometimes you want to save. That's why you hear fighters say all the time, oh, I could have took it to another level. You like Gervonta Davis' coach used to always say, I haven't seen nobody take Tank to that level. What does that actually mean? There's stuff in their tool belt that they haven't drew out yet because they didn't have to. And a lot of unexperienced fighters that's not as comfortable, sometimes they get rattled on a big stage and they just want to go for it. And they end up depleting their whole belt. And then they start, once they deplete their whole belt, they're out of answers. Now they're getting picked apart. So when you have fighters of this caliber at such a high level, it's going to be a chess match at first. I'm going to show you what I need to show you. I'm not going to give you too much. And it's going to be like that on both angles, on both ways. Both fighters are going to feel the same way. They're going to gauge range. We all know that in the boxing community. They're going to gauge timing and speed. We all know that in the boxing community. But here's where it gets tricky. I was telling a friend of mine, and I haven't heard this yet. I was telling a friend of mine, the comparison to this fight to me is Zab Judah, Floyd Mayweather. You got one that's fast twitch with hand and foot speed that can be aggressive and throw combinations. And you got one that's so defensive sound and throw shots, but accurate shots. So don't get it. It's a misconception that Teofimo may be faster than Shakur and Zab Judah may be faster than Floyd Mayweather. What I will say is they may let their hands go faster, but the reflex speed may not be as fast. Like, I think Zab Judah could throw faster punches in combination than a Floyd. Maybe. I think Teofimo can throw faster punches in a combination than Shakur. Maybe. We don't know because Shakur and Floyd, Money Mayweather, not Pretty Boy Floyd, and I don't want to make this about them, but I'm just giving a comparison. They rather throw the shots that's going to count rather than trying to throw a combination type shot that may or may not get you out of that. Now, if they got you flushed and you out on your feet, that's something different. But even then, they're still strategic. They're measuring, okay, I got him hurt, I'm got him hurt, and he's stepping in, you know what I'm saying, measuring. I see the shot, God. I'll give you an example. Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin. Even when he had Frank Martin out of there, he didn't just rush and throw a combination. Nah, he didn't do that. He measured, saw the shot, boom, got him out of there. That's the type of person that Shakur is. Whereas Teofimo, he is so fast twitch that once he got you hurt, he'll hit you with a 3. Boop, boop, boop. He don't really need the measure because he's more constant. Another thing about Teofimo, he's a counter puncher, so he's used to punches coming back and slipping and throwing in between shots. So even if he got you hurt and you go to fire back at him, he'll still throw a combination and get you out of there because he know your equilibrium is off at that point. Whereas Shakur, He'll measure you out, got him shook, and throw something so sharp that you already dazed. You don't even see that last punch coming, and we all know that's the one that hurt you. So to get back to them two in a ring together, how do we see this going? Just like Zab Judah and Floyd Mayweather. I happen to disagree with Keyshawn Davis. He said that he thinks Shakur is going to win the early rounds, and then Teofimo is gonna, he's a dog. I don't see it being that way. I see Shakur measuring him. I see Shakur being defensively responsible. I see Teofimo Lopez not really hurting Shakur or causing damage to Shakur at all at first, but I see him looking more active in the early rounds because of his movement. Shakur is more smooth with it, you know what I'm saying? He's more smooth, pop, pop, floating around, whereas Teofimo is more pop, pop, you know what I'm saying? He's more explosive with it. So to most judges, they're going to go with the person. If nothing is really happening in those early rounds and you get maybe 3 or 4 punches landed by each fighter, they're going to go with the fighter that's providing more activity. And Shakur is a person, like we like to say, he's not going to give you too much at first. He's going to gauge your range, your timing, and understanding the landscape of the ring, how you're moving. So he doesn't come out fast. And even if you press him, like in his last fight when he was getting pressed, you notice Shakur gave us a more exciting fight for the casuals. But I always love his boxing. But even during that fight, Shakur didn't just come out and start throwing heavy combinations. No, it was still measured. He just was letting them come in, throw his punches, catching them, rolling, slipping, boom, boom, throwing in between shots. You know what I'm saying? With these two fighters, once they stand in front of each other, there are going to be moments at the beginning of that fight where they're just looking at each other pretty much, moving candidly, measuring distance and range without even throwing a punch, measuring distance not just with your hands but with your feet. Now, Shakur is a master at keeping you outside. He can do that if he wants to. However, Teofimo is a master at covering distance at the blink of an eye. That's where the chess match is going to come. Can I see Teofimo getting in there and landing a sharp shot? Sometimes he lunges, boom, throw a hook, possibly. But Shakur is so defensive minded, he's probably going to pick it off. Never know. One might get in. We'll see. But my bet is at the beginning rounds, he's going to pick it off. Once the fight starts getting into, I'll say, 1, 2, 3 rounds, we might have those first 3 rounds for Teofimo. Just like he did against Lomachenko when Lomachenko wasn't throwing it. Shakur said, what's the magic about? You want to see the magic? It wasn't about no magic. Loma was trying to see, this young man is explosive. I'm not going to take a chance and I'm not going to get hurt. So I just want to see. You know what I'm saying? I want to fill him out, see what he got. But he waited too long. Shakur is too smart for that. He's not going to wait that long. So first, second round, first 2 rounds, maybe go Teofimo. 3rd round, Shakur more than likely because he's going to start filling him out. It's going to be sharp. He's going to be sharp, landing the cleanest shots, but not with as much activity still as Teofimo. Between the first 6 rounds, we may have it going into the 6th round, 3-2, Teofimo Lopez. Some people may say 4-1. Shakur, all those rounds are going to be close too, where they can go both ways. But once again, honoring on the side of activity. So let's just say for how boxing normally goes, it's going to be 3-2 going into the 6th round. Right around the 6th round, that's when Shakur is really going to start feeling comfortable in there. And Teofimo is going to start throwing more because Shakur is feeling comfortable. Why do I say that? Teofimo don't take lightly to getting hit. And once he gets hit, he's going to fight you. He does it all the time. He's just superior to most people that he fight, to where he hurts them because he's so quick and explosive. But Shakur is super sharp, especially with his pull counters. Especially, he's as sharp throwing in between shots as Teofimo. I just think Shakur is more accurate with his punches. I think Teofimo also understands that he's going to throw no matter what. And it may land no matter, it doesn't matter where he landing. He's just going to throw at times, because if you don't want to sit in front of Shakur. Just like he didn't want to sit in front of Kambosos and get caught just by coming straight in. He's not going to want to sit in front of Shakur. So what he's going to do, he's going to start to let his hands go later, and even more later in the fight. That's going to leave more openings for Shakur. But what happens when you fighting a person that's very sharp and that's very accurate, and they're hitting you and you can't hit them, you get tired. So first half of the fight is going to go towards Teofimo Lopez with pure foot speed and activity, hand speed, explosiveness. Second half of the fight is going to be the telling shots. Teofimo's still going to have his moments, but the telling shots going to be, the cleanest shots going to be landed by Shakur Stevenson. Championship rounds, fight breaks out. They both going to have to get it, because we're not going to know who wins in this fight. Shakur is going to be pushed because of the hand speed and the ring IQ that Teofimo is going to come with. The angles that he's going to take. Teofimo is going, on the other hand, he's never been hit so many times so clean. He's going to feel like, I have to win this fight. However, when you do that against a person like Shakur, the more you open up, the better he gets. The strategic side of Teofimo, if he keeps that throughout the whole fight, it's going to be a close one. But it's hard to do that against a person that's hitting you flush and you want your get back, especially when you're a dog like Teofimo. Punches and bunches, sometimes that shit work against you. Excuse my French, my people. Throwing a straight 1-2 down the pipe, you're going to see a lot of that. Who has the longer range? I think Shakur has a longer range. I also think Teofimo is going to take more chances. So what am I saying here? What is I'MSo504 saying? I'm saying, in the words like we say in New Orleans, Teofimo is eventually going to try to put Shakur Stevenson in a blender. But it's hard to hit what you can't catch. And you also slow down. And when you slow down from throwing a lot of punches, that's when you start to get caught clean. Shakur Stevenson, I got him winning. Split decision. 2 cards for him. 1 card for Teofimo Lopez. Can Teofimo win this fight? It's possible. There's going to be moments in this fight where Shakur is going to have to go there. But Shakur is always so sound with his defense. Even when he goes there, he's still defensive first. So he'll go there, boom, slip, bam, throw, pull, throw, bam. Roll, bam. Teofimo too, Guillermo. I like to say Guillermo because they say that's when he's boxing. He go there too. Do the same thing. But I think he's just going to miss more punches, which is going to tire him out. I say that 3 times, and I keep reiterating that because y'all going to see that's going to be the tell towards the end of the fight. One of the fighters are going to be tired, and I believe it's going to be Teofimo Lopez. I believe both of them going to come in superb shape. I believe both of them going to do what they need to do to win a fight. But I just think at the later rounds, when the fight does break out, one is still going to be a little more sharp because that's what he's used to doing. Strategically, Teofimo is going to try to do what he do against everybody. Catch angles, you know what I'm saying? Turn the corner. But it's hard to do that with somebody that's as superior as you with ring generalship. Now, I don't see Shakur moving as much, but then again, we may have never had to see him in that bag. I've seen Teofimo have to use that bag. We've never seen Shakur. Shakur is good with his angles, but you will never see him have like moving. People say he's a runner, he's a track star. Where? He'll move, but then he stops and then he catches you. Move again. He's not just running around. No disrespect to Devin Haney, like Devin Haney did that fight in New York. That was running. But I think Devin Haney had nerves. But still, he's not doing that. He never does that. A lot of people hate Shakur because Shakur has the ability to get people out of there. And he pulls back. He lays off the gas. Why am I going to take a chance and knock you the hell out if I don't have to? I'm winning the fight easy. But this fight here, I don't think he's going to be able to lay off the gas. Y'all about to see something. Tactically, it's going to be speed versus precision. It's going to be power versus defense. I just think defense and precision beats power and speed. Both of them, I say skilled, equally skilled, different fighters in their own right. And that's just a general synopsis of how I have this fight playing out. Please like and subscribe. I always say that at the end of my videos. I like engagement. So if you disagree with me or if you agree with me, comment at the bottom. I will engage with you. I like to have debates. I see this fight happening in multiple ways, but that's just a general that's my general mindset of how I see this fight playing out and breaking down. Shakur by split decision. Teofimo having his moments throughout the fight. Teofimo is a special fighter in his own right. 60-40 Shakur, in my opinion. 40% going to Teofimo. If he could lure Shakur out of that defensive mindset and make him trade with him, we could possibly catch him. Like I say, he turns corners. He's got good feet work. Very twitchy, fast feet, once again. But you're fighting against somebody that's extremely smooth, that gauges range, and its timing is flawless. And we all know timing beats speed. So504. I'MSo504 with another boxing breakdown. If you got any questions about what else I see, because there's a lot, I don't want to make this video go on too long, but that's just some of the things I see with this fight. Till next time, like and subscribe. Peace.